Have you seen hype around lengthened partial range of motion reps for hypertrophy?
Dude, yes. Very recently, I've seen a fair amount about it. That's crazy that you just said that because someone texted me about it yesterday. It's a big thing right now. It's a big. What do you think about it? What have you? You've got your ear to the ground on this one.
The bros were always right. So there is mounting evidence around the fact that doing partial reps in the lengthened part of the range of motion. So on a bench press, we're talking about the bottom half of the range of motion from your chest to halfway up when your pec is lengthened, not to the top half of the range of the motion where your pec is shortened. There's mounting evidence that doing those lengthened partial reps are definitely more effective for muscle growth than a half rep in the shortened range, and potentially slightly more beneficial for hypertrophy than a full range of motion rep. And I haven't dug into any of these studies, so I'm not like, I'm at this point, I'm just headline reading on this. But it's, like you'll see the super jacked dude who clearly doesn't even know what evidence-based means, but he's out there doing like constant tension bottom half, like pumping it out on a flat dumbbell press. And he was doing this in the 80s and he was doing it in the 90s and in the 2000s. And like, he's still doing it. He didn't care that he was catching smoke for, oh, you need to do the top half of the range of motion if you actually want to grow. It's like, well, clearly this is working, so I'm going to keep doing this. It's interesting to see the bros constantly be ahead of the science by sometimes 5 years and sometimes 45 years.
Dude, yeah, this is definitely like ahead by 45 years scenario, because I have the image of that dude in my head very clearly on an incline bench press with a barbell doing like right around half the range of motion, just bop, 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 bop. And then there's the dudes in the corner who are like super skinny and listen, I'm not jacked. I'm just picturing, this is the scene in my head where it's like, they're like, idiot, not even fully locking out. Meanwhile, this guy is like repping 315 with like for the partial range of motion. And these nerds are always like, not even using a full range of motion. Like, shut the fuck up. It's so funny. It is very funny how the bros have been ahead on this and basically everything for a long time. And that's the funny thing is because no matter what new methods come out, no matter what, there will not be any new research that comes out that changes strength and conditioning or bodybuilding or any of these things like radically. There will never again be new research that comes out that completely and utterly changes the way that we think about these types of training or these types of performance enhancement methodologies. Like, it just won't, because it's already been done. Like, we might have slightly more understanding of the mechanisms behind why it works now, but there will be nothing that changes the way that we train optimally that hasn't already been done for many, 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 many years.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially because so many people have tried so many different methods that, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything differently. I'm not like, doing a ton more partials. I mean, for one, I think the difference between a full range of motion and a lengthened partial is minuscule, right? So if there is a benefit for muscle growth, it's very small. It's hard enough to grow muscle as it is. And so if you add a very, very small increase on something that if you're advanced, you can gain a few pounds of muscle a year. If you're not using drugs, like, what is a very small, a single digit percentage on top of 2 pounds a year of muscle, like basically nothing. And so, I see one of the benefits, which is that it allows you to go past failure, right? If you think about, about a lat pull down and you can't get it all the way down, but you could do a half rep You could do two of those, like, you know, from the top, get it like halfway down, and then you could do a couple more like third reps. And so you're training the muscle past failure in that lengthened position. I can see a little bit of benefit there. I also like training to failure is miserable enough. Taking reps past failure by 5 to 10 partial reps, like, I don't want muscle that much that I'm going to be implementing that in my own training. Maybe with a small percentage of clients playing with it, but yeah, I'm waiting to see and hear more. Just interesting to see the bros be ahead.
Yeah, prop to the bros.